Hello everybody, my name is Rodgon and welcome to another video. Today's topic is going to be art block and how to beat it, how to overcome that big wall that we normally hit whenever we don't have any creativity. So, I'm going to aim to give you guys around 6 different ways to overcome art block, and essentially this is how I get over it and how I have trained myself to not have to, worry so much about it whenever I encounter it. So, let's get to it. You guys can enjoy the time-lapse illustration in the back as well, to give you guys something to look at while, you listen to my voice. So, method number 1 is normally the most effective for me, is to just get away from your computer or leave your sketchbook and then just go take a walk, go take a breather, and come back whenever you are, feeling refreshed when you step away from whatever project you're working on. This normally has a couple benefits. First, it gives you fresh eyes on your project, or it gives you a fresh outlook on what you're supposed to be doing. It gives you a little bit of time to just get away and then just leave that behind. So I'd like to do this, especially when I'm about to sit down and I can't come up with any ideas. I go out for a run, go out to the gym, go for a bike ride, go walk your dog, essentially anything that's just going to get your mind off the actual project. It tends to help not to think about what you're doing in order to have a fresh outlook on it. So if you are really stuck with artist block, that would be step 1. Step 2, surround yourself with like-minded individuals that are into the same stuff that you are into. What I mean by that is, if you're an artist, you need to be surrounded by other artists so you can just bounce ideas back and forth, get input, get feedback, and just being around other people that are very creative will help you come up with really cool new ideas that you might not have thought of before. So if you were in a block, if you're just your mind isn't working in the way that you want it to work, surround yourself with people that think like you and that like the same stuff you do, so that then you can just get the juices flowing. 1, it's going to give you different outlooks on what you want to achieve, because you can just bounce ideas back and forth and they might see things in a way that you don't. Or 2, you'll just get inspired because, other people are doing really cool things, and then that'll get you revving. At least that works for me. So whenever I'm in a creative funk, I normally just hang out with my best friends, which happen to be artists, and just ask them, what they think of certain things that I've been doing. And essentially that gives me enough feedback for the most part in order to move on and actually know what direction I got to take. So number 3, and this one's going to be a little bit weird, but I think that you shouldn't have to wait for inspiration in order to start drawing. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you ever find yourself in a position where you don't know what to draw, maybe you should go out of your way to do something that you haven't done before. For example, if you are a person that does digital artwork for a living like I do, maybe take time off doing digital work and then just go sculpt something, go paint something traditionally. I also like switching back and forth between drawing on my sketchbook and drawing in my computer, because having the different medium, even though it doesn't seem like it's that different, it just makes your brain work in a different way. So maybe I'm just focusing too much on a logo at one given point, and I don't know where to go with it. So I just sit down and sketch on my sketchbook for, an hour or so, and then I can see things in a different way. Maybe something comes to me while I'm drawing. Maybe I'll just pick up a piece of clay that I have in my desk and then just try to sculpt something. Doing different kinds of art trigger different parts of your brain and different creative processes. Let's go in a different route. If you are a background artist or you do comic books, sit back and actually just draw some characters, or, just do a live painting or just anything that's a little bit farther away from what you normally do will help to actually achieve this. And it's helped me in the past. It's normally the not the first step that I take. The first two that I said were probably the best options that I have, to doing this, but it actually helps a lot to be able to switch back and forth between different mediums. And one way to work this into your actual schedule, into your, the way that you do everything every single day, is to give yourself a couple hours here and there to switch back and forth between different mediums if you're doing artwork all day. That way you don't get stuck, that way you don't fall into a rut, and you know that you can always go back to the other stuff when you're, done playing around with the other one. So, this one is very important, not necessarily just for artist block, but just as an artist in general. And I guess step number 4 would be to go experience life. Go out on an adventure, go on a hike, go do lunch with your friends, go to a movie, go do anything that gets you out of your house and actually gets you around to doing different experiences with your life. Go get lost in your car, go drive a couple hours, go visit a city you've never been to, go to a restaurant you've never gone to before. It's just about experiencing life. Experiencing different things in life will actually allow you to know different things about life. Maybe something happens when you're out and about and you want to paint it. Maybe you have like a nice story that you want to write a comic book about because you met a girl, or, let's say something bad happens, like your car got hit. You can actually use all those experiences to create new things, and it'll help you be more creative in the long run. So it's very important that you actually get out and experience life more often than you don't. It's very easy for artists, especially freelance artists like myself, to just be cooped up in a room all day, every day, and forget to actually go out and just live our lives. Social media doesn't count. Just because you get a bunch of messages, a bunch of interaction with other people online, it doesn't mean that you're going out and experiencing life. You need to go out and socialize. You need to go out and talk to other people. You need to just talk to random strangers. And you need to just experience things firsthand. Make a list of things that you might want to do and that are achievable within your budget or within, your means, and then just try to do those as often as you can. Getting out and about is probably the one thing that keeps your mind in a good place. Creatively, it keeps your mind in a good place in very different aspects. So just go out and experience lives. Okay, next step, if everything else fails, or you don't have a lot of time, another way that you can beat artist block is to find other artists, like go online, go to your favorite artist page, and then just browse their work and just soak in everything that they do and how awesome it is and how awesome it would be to get to where they are. Then you can always just practice by taking some of their work and trying to deconstruct it in order for you to understand how they work. And I can guarantee you that by the time that you end doing this for like an hour or so, you're going to have so much inspiration to just be able to go out and do something that gets you a little closer to the level that your idols are in. You just need to, find different ways to actually achieve this. They might not be able to give you guidance because, not all the time can you, ask your favorite artist to give you guidance. But at least you have access to all their work and you can try to break it down in ways that it makes sense to you. Essentially, you're giving yourself a mini class on how to get better. And you can do this with everything. You can do it with painting, you can do it with sculpting, you can do it with every aspect of art. So it's a very good way to get past the rut if you have a sense of determination to get better on your own. So I like to do this often. And I don't normally do it just because I have artist block, but it's a good way to go out and actually improve yourself. And by improving yourself, you're going to, want to create more. And the moment you see any growth, you're going to just want to do more and more and more. So it's a beneficial cycle. You guys should try it. And the ultimate way to actually achieve just getting rid of artist block altogether is to actually train yourself so you don't require inspiration to do artwork. One thing that I've actually really believed ever since I was in school is that if you have to require yourself to have inspiration in order to create artwork, it would be impossible to become a full-time artist, especially if you're self-employed. Because inspiration's not always going to be there. It's not. And you can't rely on having inspiration to be able to do artwork. I've said this in multiples of my videos. I think I even have a whole video in my list that says who needs inspiration anyways. And I go into how I train myself in order not to need inspiration. Yeah, it's awesome when I do have inspiration and my artwork comes out a million times better. But being able to create without the need of inspiration is essential for anybody trying to become an artist full time. Why? Well, because, you can't make money if you're not creating. And if you're not creating, well, you need to train yourself not to be able to need that inspiration to create. It's weird to say because I'll know 90% of artists out there only work via motivation and, having a certain muse, that being a person, that being an object, that being a goal. And it's really interesting to try to explain it to people. The way that I did it was that I just started drawing everything that I could possibly see. I would try to fill up entire sketchbooks in a week just in order to be able to train my head not to require inspiration. Partly was because I didn't have the skills back then, back in college. I didn't have the skills in order to, say that inspiration was a crutch. I didn't even have the ability to create anything if I wanted to. So I had to train myself to build such a big mental library that at any given point, I can just call upon that and just create something out of nothing. I'll put the video link at the end in the title card, like in the end cards, so you guys can actually see that video if you guys are interested in that aspect of it. But that has helped me in my entire career as an artist. So I recommend that you guys take a look at it. Maybe it'll help you. If you have the drive, it'll help you a lot. If, there's no easy ways about it. I mean, artist block normally comes to me when I have very heavy depression. And it's really hard to get past that, even with all these things going on. So it's not guaranteed that they'll help, but at least these are 6 different tips that you guys can actually go through, and maybe they'll help you achieve, getting over, at least to be able to overcome this huge obstacle that we call artist block. And with that, I'm going to call it, for this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope this helps even slightly. If it helps one person out there out of all you amazing people, that's all that matters. If I can reach one individual with this, that's why I do these videos. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you guys actually like the videos that I do. And hopefully, you guys will see a lot more of me in the future, and I will catch you guys in the next one.